Let's start at the top. I mean, even with the kind of challenges the business experienced within the tourism sector in the fourth quarter, you've come out with a 23% jump in pre-tax profit. So let's run through some of the support factors.
Yes, as you're aware, TPS Eastern Africa is made up of our Kenyan, Tanzanian and Zanzibar companies. If in terms of Kenya, we had a good, the first 3 quarters were excellent, both in terms of the leisure and corporate market. Unfortunately, the last quarter was negatively impacted due to the travel advisories and also the fact that Kenya is very reliant on the European and UK markets. Fortunately for us, Tanzania performed extremely well, and so did Zanzibar, and this resulted in us producing a commendable result at the end of year 2011.
Overall, we've had volumes up in terms of tourism to these territories. How easy has it been to push through prices to manage margins or achieve margins in this period here?
I think in terms of pricing, it is very tough. We are obviously competing with a number of other destinations who've also had their own challenges. So, in terms of increasing rates, this has been a real challenge. The fact that we've managed to show a 23% growth is very much due to the fact that we've done a fair amount of re-engineering. We've managed to bring in efficiencies by increasing our management portfolio outside the public company.
Okay, so if you're looking at re-engineering on the one side, you've also had to change your focus. I mean, you touched on earlier the fact that you've had, that traditional demand for safari and beach holidays from your European market coming under pressure. Just how much of, the strategy where Kenya tourism has focused on reining in other less traditional markets worked for the company?
I think a number of efforts have been made. In looking at China, looking at India, Scandinavia has performed well for East Africa generally. I think that a lot more efforts need to be made to try and increase our market share from these new emerging markets. One other point that I'd like to make is that our Africa market has shown the highest growth for us. We find that the rest of Africa has, including the local resident market, has performed extremely well for us during year 2011.
Where you make that distinction between, foreign clientele outside of Africa and outside of the continent, is there a distinction to be made between your leisure and your business markets, Jan?
Yes, absolutely. I think the drops in business have really been recorded on the leisure market. Fortunately, our city hotels everywhere have performed extremely well because the corporate market for Eastern Africa is relatively buoyant. There is a lot of corporate activity, a lot of meetings, conference business. And that market segment has actually performed very positively during year 2011 and to a certain extent also during this year, which is, in the first 2 months of this year.